So there are a few different ways that we can gather data. We can either do surveys, we can do experiments, we can do observations. So what I had you guys do earlier was break up in groups of five groups of five, and you guys went and chose five blocks. You had a certain amount of colors you can choose from. You can choose whatever colors you wanted. You could choose all the same, however you wanted to do it. Your job was to just get 5 blocks. And that was doing an observation, because you're seeing what you're doing. You're observing, you're grabbing. And as a group, I wanted y'all to get that information together. So when you have your information together, the next step that you need to do is put it on display. We want to do either a graph. What type of graph? You can do a bar graph. You can do pie charts. You can do line graphs. You can do dot plots, stem and leaf, different things like that. So those are your different. So if you're going to do a bar graph, you're going to use those when you're going to compare different categories. A pie chart is going to represent percentages, because a pie, you're going to have your whole, and then you're going to break that off into different percentages. A line graph is used more for long-term data, something that's going to show changes throughout time. And then you're going to do dot plots, and that is you're putting dots and just you're visually seeing what the amount of data you have. So those are different types of displays or ways that you can show your data. So let's go back to your blocks. So I gave you 2 options. You could either do a bar graph or a line plot, or dot plot, I'm sorry. So you got to choose whatever you wanted to. You got to choose which way you wanted to display your data. And honestly, guys, there's not really, when it comes to that, what you're doing, both of those are right. So if you chose to do a bar graph, good job. If you chose to do a dot plot, great job. So I went ahead and did the bar graph just so that you can see kind of what I did. And so here we had 25 blocks in all, because we had 5 students choosing 5 blocks. So I had, if you can see, it says number of blocks. So I have each square is worth 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Red, blue, yellow, and green. So we have 4 red, 10 blue. I had 3 yellow. So I had to have this number 4 here. And then we had 8 green. So this is just a way of sorting out your data. Sorting out data to figure out, just to have information. I also went ahead, and I didn't give you this option, but you can take that same data and you can turn it into a pie chart. You can turn it into a pie chart. And all you have to do is, we have 25 blocks, correct? So you're going to divide whatever number. So to get, the blue was 40% of the whole 25. Blue accounted for 40% of the whole 25, which would be 100%. 25 is 100%. So if we're taking 10 and we're going to divide that by 25, you're getting 40%. And our green was valued at about 32%. 16% was our red, and then 12% was our yellow. So you can use different types of graphs to display your data. Now, would you use a line graph to do this? Probably not. Your line graph is going to be, like I said, for information, long-term information. So for example, you might be questioning, well, how is this going to help me in the long run? How is this going to help me in life? Well, this is going to be your whole life, because it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a business person, say you want to own a restaurant, if you own a restaurant, you're going to want to know what your sales are. So you want to know how much am I making in sales? So you would want to go back and you would gather your data. You would go and find out, okay, I had so much in sales this month. And you're going to say, well, I want to know what I made in sales over the last year. So you're going to make a line graph, and you're going to have your 12 months, January through December. You're going to figure out what your sales were for each month. And it's going to show you, and I use a restaurant as an example because my family owns a restaurant. It's going to show you, okay, you know what? In January, sales are a little bit low. Why would sales be a little low in January? We just got through Christmas. People are spending money. People are deciding, you know what? We need to work on our budget. We're not going to eat out so much. So your Januaries are going to be a little bit lower. And you look through, you see, okay, well, in the summertime where we live, we have a lake. We live in a lake town. So in the summertime, people are coming to spend time at the lake. They're taking their boats out. They're going out. They're eating. They're spending money. So in the summer, we make a little bit more money. School, September comes around, August, September, we're saving our money because we've got to buy school supplies. We've got to buy clothes. We've got to get ready for that. And so you're going to see a dip in what we're making. And then you got December comes around again. And guess what? It's Christmas time and people are spending more money. They're eating out. They're hanging out with family and friends. So the only way you're going to know that information is if you gather your data, you figure out how much am I making, and then you put it out on a spreadsheet, which would be like a line graph. And it's going to show you your low in January, you kind of go up and you kind of peak a little bit in the summer, kind of go down low, and you're going to see, and that way you can decide how much, what things you can do to better create more income. So it's gonna be something that's gonna affect you your whole life, whether you're working in business, corporate. You're gonna have to gather data, and you're going to have to show your information, display it in some way.